Hi, this is Chris Schomburg, and today we're going to learn a little bit about a knife switch. And so this actually right here is the knife switch. We can see that right there. We can actually turn it on to the open position, so there's nothing being turned on. This is the down position, and then this is the up position. And so that's basically how we're going to operate. In this case, we're going to use that switch to go ahead and operate a lamp, and that's the goal today. So we'll look at the couple of schematics. Hopefully you can see those right now, and also the symbolic schematic and then the assembly schematic. Now, technically, you could be given either one and have to actually make the circuit based on either one. Now, assembly is a lot easier to use, but technically, in electronics or in electrical engineering or all those kinds of fields, you need to know how to actually use the symbolic schematic as well. So the first thing we're going to need is we're going to need actually about 3 or 4 different wires. So let's go ahead. I got some new wires that are a little bit more interesting, so we'll use those today. So these were actually very inexpensive. Again, buying locally is usually a lot more expensive than if you buy online. And what we have here is we have different colors. So we have our green, we have our red, and we are going to go ahead and use a black in this case. So we have multiple colors, and that's actually good. It's easier to troubleshoot. It's easier to use in that case. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go from the negative, because we're going to do electron flow. Remember, it goes from the negative terminal. The electrons go away from the negative terminal. So we're going to go from the negative right here. Okay, and then we're going to go to the center of the knife switch. So we're going to go either side is fine, but you have to be consistent. So if I go from there to the center right there, that's one side. That's great. Then we're going to go a green. Now this is actually truthfully a black. So this is truthfully a black because we're not really dropping the voltage that much. But again, everything has a little bit of internal resistance. So I'm saying that this one's almost a ground, but not quite a ground. So I'm going to go ahead and put that to the light. And let's go ahead and hook that to the light right there. There we go. Now, from the light to positive 12, I'm going to designate as a positive. So I'm going to designate that as a red. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in the positive 12 and then to the lamp right there. Okay, so that looks like actually we have actually made the circuit correctly. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that that looks good. Looks like the current is coming down from the negative rail all the way down. We can feel it go all the way to the center point of the knife switch. Then we went from the top point of the knife switch to the green right here. And it's right here, the green right here, going all the way to the lamp. And then going from the lamp all the way to the 12 volts. Okay, so we're going to turn all of this off first. Then we're going to take a second to go ahead and turn on the solar. Okay, so the solar is now on. Let's go ahead. I'm going to turn the switch to an open position to start with. Let's go ahead. Let's turn on that guy. Turn on the DC voltage. We do have that. Now we can actually, this shouldn't do anything, and that should actually light it up. That's actually what's happening. We're actually lighting the light bulb with the knife switch. Again, it's just a different type of switch that we use. The old circuit breakers actually in the hydro used a knife switch, and they actually used a knife switch to go ahead and turn on almost all of Niagara Falls, as well as the Chicago World's Fair, and many of the other places. That's actually why it became so famous, was because they would use this knife switch and, hold the switch, and it would turn on all the lights in the little city. So that's pretty amazing. We actually got that to work really quickly, and hopefully you can continue on with these lessons. We're going to go ahead and we're going to continue with different switches to start out with, and then we'll proceed to different inductors, capacitors, and then the last subject that we're going to go into is transformers.